Hello and welcome to the Nerd Card. Today we'll be talking about a classic of the zombie genre, although they don't say that, Shaun of the Dead.
You've got red on you.
I do. You do too.
Yeah, well, whatever.
All right, so let's jump right into it, talking Shaun of the Dead. This is an absolute classic. Simon Pegg.
Yes.
Nick Frost.
Edgar Wright, although he's not on camera.
No, he's not. But
writer and director with Simon Pegg as its co-writer with him.
Yes, part of a trilogy, which includes Hot Fuzz and At World's End. Is it At World's End? It is.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I think they also collaborated all together on Paul as well. I know Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, but I want to say Edgar Wright was involved in that also.
We'll check that out and we'll find out. I have no idea.
Yeah, so...
But either way, this is an absolute... I mean, it's just so well written.
Oh, man.
There's so many things that there are just tiny details. This is the kind of movie you can watch over and over and over again and still see something that you didn't see the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time.
And that's also, in my opinion, because it's made by people who are fans first, right? Kind of like Favreau and Filoni are holy grail of fan first creators. Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright and Nick Frost, they're the same vein.
Yes.
They really love the George Romero zombie movies. Mm-hmm. And
they're referenced several times.
Right.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I don't want to cause a fuss.
We're coming to get you, Barbara.
We're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an ode to those movies. And I remember when this came out on DVD, watching the special features, and Simon Pegg was with Edgar Wright talking about how much time they worked on the script of this movie.
Yeah, well, and it really shows because there are subtle references and not so subtle references all the way through. The first part of the movie is duplicated.
Yeah, and that's a precision to that I think is very interesting. I don't think I've seen in many other places, if any other places, where, as you say, it's duplicated and it's the same characters and it's now pre-zombie, post-zombie, doing the same actions.
Yep.
And, so they're storytelling in multiple ways. They're foreshadowing, but they're also telling you that, people already kind of were in a zombie state and then they really are in a zombie state.
And it's a big difference between the two.
And it's really interesting to see, and it's also kind of telling you that they've been preparing their whole lives for this.
Sure.
In some regards.
Yes. Well, one of the best, in my opinion, the best scenes for that is in the beginning of the movie. Nick Frost's character is playing a video game on PS2, and he goes, "Oh, top left, reload." Nice shot.
Yeah.
And in that order. And the game they're playing, or the game he's playing, by the way, is Time Splitters 2. So that's a nice little bit of trivia that maybe you did or did not know.
I didn't know.
Now you know. And
G.I. Joe'd me again.
Later, I do that for quite frequently.
You do like the G.I. Joe.
But either way, later on in the movie, of course, we see that reel, while... Shaun's got the Winchester.
In the Winchester,
at the Winchester. And Nick Frost's character says, top left.
Right.
Reload on it. Nice shot.
Yeah.
So it's those types of moments throughout the movie that really make it a special type of movie. Yeah,
for sure. And again, that's the care and time that they put into creating the script to make sure that when they made the movie, they had the good foundation. You a lot of times will see movies that, especially me as a writer, I wonder, man, was that written that way? Because either that's a bad script or the director's interpreting it really, really strangely.
Right.
And you can tell that the care was really given when they made this movie.
Yes.
To put it together in a precision manner. And there's all kinds of laughs, all kinds of funny parts. You see, because it's a comedy, but it's a horror, but it's really a comedy.
Yeah.
And it's also a nerd culture movie.
Sure.
So there's a lot of those, all those elements are put together seamlessly and flawlessly in the movie. And to see, like, one of the things I'm thinking is Philip, of course, is his father, Philip. He's not my dad.
He's not my dad.
He's not my dad.
There's so many scenes where, you know, he's a British actor who's traditionally in dramatic movies, and you see the scene where he's in the store and he comes to see Philip to make sure he's going to bring mums for his mum. And he does his turnaround and walks up, and you can see the whole time he's trying not to laugh.
He's almost breaking.
Yeah. And it's hilarious. And Simon Pegg, if you look at him, because, you know, we've obviously seen this movie several times. Simon Pegg, you can see him kind of twitching too, like he's trying not to laugh. But it's so well done. And, you know, to see all those different actors, there's so many famous actors in this movie.
Oh, certainly.
Especially if you watch British cinema, there's tons of it.
One that you pointed out yesterday, actually, so we rewatched this in preparation for doing this.
Yeah.
And, you know, for probably, I don't know, my 100th time, maybe your 200th time. I mean, we've watched it quite a bit.
Yeah.
But we're watching it, and the scene where the two groups meet.
Yes.
And they're the identical groups that kind of pass by each other. And Chuck goes, "Is that Martin Freeman?" And I was like, "It is Martin Freeman."
I never noticed it before. Yeah, you have Martin Freeman there. You're like, oh my God. I mean, this is back in the day. I mean, he wasn't known in the United States anyway.
Right. Well, at that time, he was starring in the British version of The Office.
Okay.
And that's what he was most well known for back then.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, he's the Hobbit. And
Bilbo Baggins.
He's Watson in Sherlock.
He's in the MCU.
He's in the MCU, right?
I mean, yeah, he's a much larger figure than he was at that time. But it was interesting to see that, and it was also kind of interesting when they do those with those two double groups. I postulated to Phil. I said, I wonder if those were everybody who was the runner-up to the role of the primary would be hilarious.
It would, yeah,
because they're all so similar, and obviously, you know, they were making a joke with that. But I think it would be funny if there was even a further text beyond that. I have no idea how to find that out. I'd have to Google it, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe IMDb page.
But
I've read the IMDb page for this several times, and I did not come across that.
Yeah, but it would be interesting or funny if it was.
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
It really would. Yeah. So obviously the movie that covers what would happen in a zombie apocalypse in a lighthearted? Sure.
I guess it's lighthearted, yeah.
And it really speaks to exactly what you say. You know, the real world actually prepared them for this zombie apocalypse.
Right.
And there is another thing. We keep saying zombie, but...
Don't say that. What? That? What? That? The Z word. Don't say it. Why not? Because it's ridiculous. All right.
Don't use the Z word. It's ridiculous. But that speaks to, you know, the genre is hesitant to call zombies.
Sure.
In just about everything except Zombieland.
Well, yeah, because that's Zombieland. That's their homage.
Right on
that's their homage to that culture, to that genre.
What do you think? Zombie kill of the week?
Close, but no cigar.
You know, one of the things I also thought was really cool on Shaun of the Dead is they're clearly, and they say this in the special features of the film too, if you were to watch it, but they're clearly George Romero fans, and they're very big Dawn of the Dead fans, which is largely regarded as the best zombie movie ever made. And Dawn of the Dead, Romero was really doing a conversation piece, a commentary on society. Sure. That's why it's in a mall. That's why everyone just gravitated back to the mall. You know, people just, you know, he was talking about people being drones in real life, so that in the zombie apocalypse, they just droned around in the mall, and that even people went to seek salvation in the mall.
Sure.
You know, and...
Well, that actually, it's a big parallel to Shaun of the Dead.
Well, yeah,
and the Winchester.
They did that on purpose, right? With the Winchester and with, you know, the people being drones, like still at the end of the movie, you can still have them putting away shopping carts and things like that.
They're still actually productive members of society, kind of. There's actually the end little montage there with the Fun Dead and, you know, a couple other things going on there. There's a couple of really big celebrity cameos in there as well.
I didn't know that.
There's Coldplay.
Which you had to tell me that. I didn't actually even know
which
that.
I mentioned, and they were a bigger deal at the time. But... There's also one of the radio broadcasts that's overheard is Mark Gatiss.
Really?
Mark Gatiss, of course, we know him as a writer and actor in Doctor Who, in Game of Thrones, and in the BBC series Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. So he is actually featured in the movie. You don't see him.
You hear him.
But you hear him.
Yeah.
And that's just really cool. There's a lot of British royalty, if you will. Not actual British royalty, but...
Yeah, that's a big deal in Britain.
It is, yes. But they're,
big deal here too, people.
They're elite celebrities that are in the movie. And it's really cool to see that because it makes it so much more British.
Yeah. And it was really the launching point for Simon Pegg.
Sure.
And Nick Frost. I mean, they've gone on to do a bunch of other movies. Obviously, Hot Fuzz and World's End after that.
Sure.
But Simon Pegg was in the Star Trek franchise as Scotty.
Are you a member of Starfleet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nick Frost has done a variety of things. He's in the show that's out now, The Nevers.
The Nevers, yes.
He's got another paranormal show on Amazon Prime as well. They made the movie together, Paul. So you can see those guys everywhere, and it is really...
Oh, sure.
And they're both huge nerds.
They are huge nerds.
So
yes,
and that really obviously comes through in this movie. You also have some other smaller name people, but what's their roommate's name? Pete.
Pete is, and now it's unfortunately this series has been canceled, and I'd love to do an episode on it. We'll see. We might not. But that's Amazon Prime did a series, a live action version of The Tick.
Yeah.
And the actor who played Pete plays the Tick, and he's amazing in it. It's a hilarious series. You guys should check it out. Even if we don't do an episode on it, go check it out.
He's also
really
in
cool.
Nova Corps in the MCU.
He is, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it also was really cool, and that I spotted at least 5 actors in that movie that had at least guest appeared on Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So, of course, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Sean's ex-girlfriend who led the other group.
Yes, indeed. Bill Nighy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Philip.
If that's, I might be butchering that name, but Philip, yes, plays in Doctor Who. And then, of course, Harriet Jones, Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Yes, we know who
Sean's
you are.
mom. Sean's mom. Yeah.
Sean's mom. Exactly.
Mum. Yeah.
So it is, of course, Doctor Who being about the most British thing ever.
Yeah, about as British as the Queen.
Exactly. Of course, they're going to show up in a movie like this.
Of course.
And it's cool to see that.
Yeah,
I really
for sure.
enjoy that. But it's definitely a commentary, as you said, on where we were headed at that time, and where we ended up. Quite frankly.
Yeah, I mean it's a little dated. Obviously, if you go in the electronics store and you see the tube televisions,
the big ones,
the big tube televisions. But the social commentary remains spot on.
It does.
And again, it was done with such care. The movie is so well done. I continue to marvel at how well done the movie was.
And we did, as we watched it yesterday, we just kept saying, man, I forgot how great this movie is.
It's got tons and tons of quotable lines.
You got red on you.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I'll stop doing it. You stop laughing.
I'm sorry, Shaun. It's all right. No. I'm sorry, Shaun. Oh! Oh my God!
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, I mean it's just all in all, it's a wonderful movie. It's a fun movie. It's an homage to the larger zombie genre, and it's also kind of an homage to nerdy kind of culture made by big fans of everything nerdy, but of Romero specifically.
Sure, it certainly is. One other reference that we forgot to point out is actually Shaun says early on in the movie, before he got red on him, that his boss, Ash, was feeling ill and couldn't make it in. So that obviously a reference to the Evil Dead series and Ash Williams, played by the always amazing Bruce Campbell.
Shop smart.
Shop as smart. Boomstick. Yes. So that another, obviously that series of movies paved the way for this movie to actually happen. And they're nice enough to throw an homage in there to Ash.
Yeah.
To Sam Raimi, to Bruce Campbell. It's cool.
Yep.
I do really like that.
I know you do.
All right. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and call it on Shaun of the Dead. It's been on our nerd cards for many, many years.
Yeah.
I'd like to remind you to go ahead and like and subscribe. Share it with all your nerd friends. We want them to join the party too. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music. If you can't find us, you ain't looking. So with that, we will say,
what's on your nerd card?